What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News. And I just finished watching the Jay Deas interview. And he was talking about Deontay Wilder. Like I promised you guys, I will make a video about Jay Deas's interview. And I'm going to just do them all at once because it was another video that he did. And kind of mentioned that in this. But, Jay Deas really started off with, how he felt about the Brazil fight and how will damn, I forgot his name now. Had a brain fart, but the new trainer of Virgil Hunter. Sorry. Virgil Hunter, how will that affect Dominique Brazil? And he kind of gave a decent analysis of, who or what could happen. Sometimes, people can jail, instantly, but then sometimes it takes a while. And Virgil Hunter himself even admitted, like, I wish I would have had him the fight before to see where we can go and where we can take our progress to, instead of just picking him up for this big fight, this big WBC opportunity. And you got to remember, guys, he's waited a year and a half for this. So, that's not a good sign, but Jay Deas, I think I like Jay Deas. I think he's one of those dudes that I could see myself hanging out with, drinking a beer with. But I think he's a cool guy, but I don't really think that he is a trainer. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that he's like he's more like a PE teacher than a trainer to me. You know what I mean? He has a cool personality and stuff like that. I'm not trying to down him or diss him or whatnot, but I think, the way he answers questions, they're more generic than anything. And you understand that he's also, like the co-manager of Deontay Wilder. So that's two managers, mind you, Shelly Finkel and Jay Deas, right? And, he was, they were asking him about Wilder's comments about, going back to the basis. And he said something like, oh, well, Deontay Wilder, he takes training always seriously. He does. He takes it always seriously. And I was like, okay, no, because to counterpunch that, guys, that's bullshit. Because Deontay Wilder just said, I got away with a lot of shit without doing stuff in the gym. I only did two things, and that's work the mitts and spar. So that's all basically you let him do, being his manager / trainer. And then you have the nerve to say, yeah, he always takes it seriously. Well, not according to him. He said that, no, I didn't take it seriously because I could get away with this shit. Maybe the opposition you were fighting. Yeah, maybe that was the case. You know what I mean? And you got to really think about it, to dig further into it. Why would you want to extensively put yourself through training knowing that your opponents for the first 9 of these motherfuckers were handpicked? You know what I'm saying? So you really wouldn't be that focused, and they market him to build his resume, to pad his resume. I get all that. Anyway, let's move forward. He made a statement about Anthony Joshua. And he stated that Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder has the better resume. You know what I mean? And, the guy from Boxing, well, I forget his name now, but he's a pretty good interviewer. He asked a lot of questions because he was like, well, if you look at Deontay's last 3 and you look at Joshua's last 3, what was Deontay? Brazil, Fury, and Ortiz. Then you look at Anthony Joshua's Povetkin, Parker, and Takam. And he like, that's no, that'll tell you all you need to say. And then, then the guy with a reporter, I think his name is John, or Ron, I think, Ron from the Boxing Voice. He was like, well, the fans of AJ wouldn't, that he already beat Brazil, so you could scratch that name off your list on the last three. And he was like, well, actually, Deontay Wilder, he beat Molina, and then Joshua fought him after that. Well, to counterpunch that, Jay, first of all, he did it better. Second of all, he asked you what was it. You came out by omission and said hit the last three. Okay, that does not concern Molina. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? And let's look at the last three. Tyson Fury was just getting back in the sport after being high and all that. Sitting on his ass. Doing coke and all that stuff. We're dealing with other demons. Luis Ortiz, you guys picked him off of, and then by the way, you drawed with him. You didn't win. You fought Luis Ortiz, and a lot of people argued that he was old with high blood pressure medicine. I don't buy that. But, and Brazil, Joshua already beat Brazil. So again, I don't know how the hell you can think that his resume is better. And it's funny how you pick only the last three. You actually should have said the last two. You know what I mean? I could buy the Luis Ortiz and Tyson Fury shit, but you added Brazil like Brazil was an extra bonus in there. No, it was stupid because Joshua already beat Brazil. Okay? So if we want to talk about the last three fights, you know what I mean? Let's go farther. How about Klitschko? That you guys didn't want Wilder to even face. Had to do it. Had to counterpunch it, guys. You know what I mean? And you're sitting there telling us that Deontay Wilder's resume is better, But I guess you would say that being a manager / trainer, you know what I mean? So I get it, okay? Now he goes on to say that, well, Ron asked, well, the $50 offer you offered Anthony Joshua, do you think that it would be another situation where you guys offer a certain amount of money again like that? And that was a very good question because, like, why do you think these guys haven't even made another attempt to make their own counter offer? Okay, right. Even after the DAZN offer, like, why wouldn't you motherfuckers sure, you didn't let the DAZN counter offer to you to get you in the ring with Anthony Joshua. Well, what's wrong with you guys putting a package together and sending over to AJ and Hearn? You did it before, supposedly, right? So why, what is it about the $50 million or is that like just a one-time deal just to prove to everybody that you actually made a deal that had a little 24-hour deadline on it? You know what I mean? Why didn't you send another one if you really wanted that fight? You see what I'm saying? See where I'm going with this? It doesn't make sense because Ron, shout out to you from the Boxing Voice. You asked $1 million question, brother. Why didn't they send another package together? So this is what Jay Deas said. He said, well, yeah, we could offer them, but it's going to, of course, it's going to be in Deontay Wilder's best interest. And we're not ever coming on the B side ever. So you'll never be on the B side, but you're obviously the B side. So, they're looking at it like, they could go ESPN route and then you could go to zone route with AJ, but you're keeping the options open. So everything leads to, and then if he gets locked in with the zone with Anthony Joshua, so you have an option. So basically you're telling me, since you're bringing up the ESPN shit, they're considering ESPN, that fight with Fury again. They're trying to totally duck Anthony Joshua because they know, okay, we know what's there. We know what they offered. The money's still on the table. It is. That deal hasn't went anywhere just because he fought. That deal can be remodified. You know what I'm saying? This ain't the bogus ass $50 million deal that it only had a certain time limit. If you don't take it, it expired and that's it. And we ain't gonna never send nothing else. Right? Apparently, because they haven't done that. So I think from hearing what he had to say, well, we could go the ESPN route with Fury, or we could go the zone route with Joshua. And we don't want to be locked in. It ain't locked, motherfucker. You're just fighting one person at this point. You're fighting Anthony Joshua twice. How is that locked in? It's 2 fights. It makes no sense. And the way then, since he did mention Tyson Fury, because no one asked about Tyson Fury at all, if you notice, you know what I'm saying? He, by omission, mentioned ESPN with Tyson Fury. So that lets me know. And he said that first. You know what I'm saying? He said, oh, well, we could go Tyson Fury's route with ESPN, or we could go to the zone route with Anthony Joshua. See, I listen to what people say, and that's how I can decipher what the fuck he was talking about. They're going towards ESPN. So they'll rather deal with Bob Arum with Tyson Fury because it's a less threatening fight. See, the worst could happen, he gets outboxed, but they're preying on, if we hit Tyson Fury, we can get him out of there like we did last time. Only we can do it quicker and more convincing. Because, you know what I mean? They're not worried about what's coming back as opposed to punching power and, and danger and threatening of getting knocked the fuck out. You know, and they're not worried about that. That factor, that percentage of that factor is happening is very slim. You know what I mean? And I would give really Tyson Fury, a good shot because, I seen him buckle Deontay Wilder. So I seen him hurt Deontay. And the legs don't lie. So, but the way they're looking at it, hey, it's a less risk fighting Fury. You know what I'm saying? But the way they're talking, none of these fights will happen, guys. If Jay Deas is correct, being the co-manager of Deontay Wilder, these fights are not going to happen if these motherfuckers think that they're going to come in on the A side. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Instead of just, hey, let's make a deal, honestly knowing where they're at behind these other two guys. If they all think, oh, he's the baddest man on the planet, he's going to do this, and he has the better resume than Joshua. I'm like, come on, man. And fucking Parker, back to Parker, the last three, he was a WBO title holder. So that was a portion of the unification. You see what I'm saying? Povetkin was the fucking Olympic gold medalist that they kind of skated away from fighting over the drug shit. They could have renegotiated to fight Povetkin. You know what I mean? They weaseled themselves back out of that, and it got all shitty and messy, like women. You know what I'm saying? So, no. So listening to this video, listening to the co-manager, I don't see this shit happening. But anyway, that's me wrapping it up, counterpunching it. You guys tell me what you think about about this video, about the interview. I'll leave the link below. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been counterpunched. Peace.